Greetings, I am Dr. Payas Sikrishan from Department of Physics, Sacred Heart College, Kochi. Welcome to this brief narration about me and my passion in physics. Here I present a few of my activities in the last 5 years. On and off, my students' messages are also incorporated to avoid monotony in the self-talk. Thanks for watching. My background: I belong to a village named Pollethai in Alappuzha district of Kerala. My respected parents: father late Mr. C.C. Agustin and my mother Mrs. Felicia Agustin. My family currently resides at Kochi. My wife Dr. Deepthi Antony, Assistant Professor in Kerala Agricultural University, and my daughters Navina looking for UG admissions and Marina is a class 7 student. This is my academics. Started schooling in my village, then graduation from St. Albert's College, Ernakulam. I did my PhD under the supervision of Professor M.S.R. Rao at IIT Madras. Recently, I got TAIR award from SCRB, that is Teacher Associateship for Research Excellence, to continue my research in association with Professor K.K. Nanda at Material Research Center, IISc Bangalore. Some of my achievements are listed. A few are research related and others academic achievements. This is my career trajectory. I started earning during my pre-degree in 1991. After my B.Ed, I served as a school teacher in various institutions across India, handling various syllabi like CBSE, Kerala State Higher Secondary Education, ICSE, ISC, Tripura Central University, and now Sacred Heart College, Kochi, an autonomous institution. Last 23 years were a great learning experience for me, teaching students from class 4 to BSc, MSc and MPhil students. These are the major subjects I handled: thermodynamics, optoelectronics, etc. for BSc, and nuclear physics and DSP for MSc Physics. The entire physics department is supporting and encouraging our students to explore higher options in physics within and outside India. Here I have shown only a few. We have got many students, many more like Dijo, Alvin, Steffi, etc., who continue their masters and PhD in Germany, Spain, etc. I congratulate everyone for making us proud. Here is a message from my student Ajin.
His teaching methods were absolutely unique. Like, I want to say an example like we had. He used to make, he used to tell to make students a pocket diary. Since he was teaching thermodynamics, a pocket diary consisting of all the equations that we have learned. Like, we have to submit it weekly and it must be attractive. Even though it was a bit difficult while we were preparing all these things, but once it was made, it was very useful for me even in the time of my JRF preparation also. So I still am having that pocket diary which is consisting of all the equations in thermodynamics, and also he used to teach a lot of shortcuts so that we can remember things in a funny way, like equations. One example was he used to tell this Maxwell's equations, how to remember Maxwell's equations with a sports car or sportive and fancy number 4242. We are having a driver of a car, ACC. So SPTV gives the first letters of these parameters of thermodynamics, and 4242 which quadrant we have to start, and ACC here shows that in which direction we have to count, and we can deduce all the Maxwell's equation using this. And I still remember that. That means it was very effective. Like these lot of effective methods he used to practice with students so that the learning become more efficient.
Thanks, Ajin. Every year I try to modify my teaching strategy. We tried a lot of online presentations by students this year. The processes involved are listed. All of my UG physics students this year, that is 138 students, gave presentations as part of their physics course, which are now available online. A few responses by students are also shown. This slide depicts my method of paper valuation, question by question rather than paper by paper. The last 3 years, I have been developing physics lectures to support undergraduate teaching. Links to my YouTube lectures on X-ray diffraction, atom model, then digital signal processing, thermodynamics, etc. are available on my webpage. Thanks to SH Vision channel and EMMRC Calicut for making my talks available for wider public. So in X-ray crystallography, or through this X-ray crystallography, we will be able to understand the atomic and molecular arrangement within the material. What we do is a precise monochromatic X-ray will be allowed to fall on a material. When this X-ray is allowed to fall, then it will undergo diffraction or it will be reflected back from the material. Depending on the nature or the arrangement of atoms or these molecules, more microscopic units within the material, this X-ray will be reflected in specific directions, and also intensity will be decided by the number of atoms or how it is arranged. So based on by studying or analyzing the angle at which this X-ray is diffracted or reflected and the intensity of X-rays coming back from the material, an X-ray crystallographer will be able to plot 3D map of electron density within the material. So if we know this electron density within the material and if we carefully analyze, we can even figure out the precise or average position of atoms in the material, or maybe the chemical bonding, even some distortion within the material. So many such information can be picked from the material or through this X-ray diffraction data. So that give a better understanding of what is the nature of the material. The interesting point is many of the materials, for example salts, maybe minerals, metals, organic materials or inorganic materials, or maybe biological systems, all these are available in crystals. That is, this X-ray crystallography can bring out a lot of information about many of the material, or it play a vital role in the development of many scientific fields. So that is the beauty of this X-ray, and this particular discovery, this had a profound influence in the advancement of science in the previous century, and even now material scientists mainly depend on this particular X-ray diffraction data as a preliminary characterization technique. Suppose you turn a laser pointer on and off so fast, then you will be sending a laser shot. If this on and off happen in 1/1,000,000th of a second or a few femtosecond, then the laser source will release a packet of photon approximately a millimeter wide, which advance as a laser bullet with velocity 3 × 10⁸ meter per second. What is the velocity of bullet from a gun? Maybe 500 or 1000 meter per second. So that is, light bullet is about 1,000,000 times faster than an ordinary bullet from a gun. So in this photograph, the light bullet is allowed to pass through a bottle, a Coca-Cola bottle, and it is photographed using a femtophotography and viewed in slow motion. Light bullet needs just a nanosecond to cross a Coca-Cola bottle, which is about 15 centimeter long. So we will see that video. These are some of my activities to encourage and support my students for competitive exams. Now moving on to research. My research is centered around two aspects: piezo ceramics and thin films, and 2D materials for future electronics. I associate with IIT Madras, Shibora Institute of Technology, Tokyo, Japan, and IISc Bangalore. In 2017, I did research in SIT Japan through student exchange program of IIT Madras for 3 months, and I got 2 co-authored publications with SIT Japan. This is my research output. 2 presentations are shown for reference. One presented in the last week and the other last year. This is research guidance. Here in this poster shown, the first author, Gogol, was my MPhil student and is now doing his PhD in the Department of Optoelectronics at Kerala University. He, along with my students, MSc project students, presented their research in material science conference MH21 at Singapore last week. Here is a message from Father Subin.
When I think about Paiser, I just wanted to mention 3 qualities. Number 1, he is a person with a positive energy. Whenever he takes the class, whenever he begins the class, before we begin, he just shares some of the beautiful message, beautiful thought, which is so inspiring, which is so motivated to all our students. Maybe because of that, I just follow the same pattern. When I take the classes, I just share some of the concept, some of the messages, which is so related to our lives. And some of the students appreciated that also. Secondly, his taste towards the research. I was so fortunate to do my MSc project with Paiser in IIT Madras, some of the parts, and I was so convinced, and I was so experienced about his sincerity and the commitment he has put forward towards his research work. Maybe it's because of that he could finish his doctoral thesis within 3.5 years. It was a great achievement. And it was so inspiring for all of our students. And maybe because of that, he just wanted to give something more to the society through his research. Thirdly, he is a good guide. Last month, I got a call from Paiser. He just reminded me to continue my studies, particularly in research. He just gave some of the guidance in which direction I should move, in which way I have to proceed, in what are the fields I have to concentrate. So he's a good guy to show the direction. So thank you so much, dear Paiser, for all your support and care, and also for your valuable guidance.
Thanks, Father Subin. I used to give a preliminary coaching for UGC NET and GATE exams for their batch, normally 1 hour in the morning, and encourage them to pursue PhD. Although they could not make it in their final year MSc, 5 students from Father Subin's batch cleared CSA or JRF in the following years and are currently doing PhD in various leading research institutes within and outside India. In order to promote group discussion and research-oriented learning, I proposed, or rather designed, a research avenue in the department corridor. It is arranged in a soothing atmosphere and provided with electrical points and internet facility to encourage scientific explorations. My student Subhan Ahmed speaks.
The active vibe and energetic atmosphere we received from his lectures was his unique signature. Paiser is always successful in making class hours fascinating by breaking the learning barriers set in the syllabus by expanding his presentation to a dimension where a student could develop his or her research attitude in science by probing into the topic by oneself, and it is one of the most attractive attributes of his pedagogical care. He consistently executes interactive tasks during his hours, like group discussion, where each group assigned with a particular topic, and each member of the group teaches each other a topic one is confident enough. Activities like this help us a lot in developing our communication skills and problem solving skills. I always waited for physics lab hours, during which I perceived a sensation of scientist, which always made me exhilarated and enthusiastic. These hours upskilled me with refined dexterity in performing many physics experiments, with advanced empirical awareness from the guidance of our Paiser.
Thanks, Subhan. So here, love of science and humanity. During the first COVID lockdown, when students were totally confused about learning, I released a series of short presentations on various physics topics useful for plus 2 and undergraduate students and shared across India under the title Love of Science and Humanity. Then various state governments and the central government were requesting people to contribute, I sent an appeal along with the drive link for PPTs. It was well appreciated by various teachers from different parts of India, And here a few messages I received from IAPT fraternity in Maharashtra. Now I'll talk about a few workshops which I organized. This is RBPT Level 1 workshop at Sacred Heart. RBPT or research-based pedagogical tools was the best contribution from my part for promoting UG teaching in SH College. Here is a clip from the rapid fire which I presented at JNTU, Hyderabad.
Good morning all of you. It looks very nice and you are all very happy it seems. So I believe, so we'll start with a small activity. So I hope you will cooperate with me. So please stand up. A small activity. No, sir, please. Thank you very much. Activity is this much only. So you keep your hands like this. And when your right hand is going forward, left hand should go backward. And similarly opposite. I'll just show you one like this. Check whether you are doing it properly. Most probably you will be doing like this. Okay, you practice it. Tomorrow you, this micro teaching session, I'll request you to try it again. Thank you. Okay, so myself, Dr. Payas Agustin, and I'm from Sacred Heart College, Kochi. This is my college, it looks nice. And this is a nice city. Please visit Kochi sometime. And behind my college is Vembanad Lake. It's a very nice scenery. So I'm just proceeding, and I have to start with, I have a question. Were you comfortable when you started PhD? So question I'll reframe. That is immediately after your MSc, we go for PhD. So naturally, we will have some inconvenience or confusion, because up to MSc our classroom is a different situation. Teachers are coming, we have got activities, studying and the exams, it's fine. But when we reach PhD, we have got some discomfort. How to proceed with, how to start, what is the problem, where to attempt, lot of confusions. I suppose you all had these issues. Because of this issue, maybe our students, when they reach PhD, they take around 2 to maybe 1 year, 1.5 years, 2 years, maybe even 3 years to understand what they are doing. Because of that, their research is getting delayed, PhD is delayed. Some of them get PhD even in 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, 9 years. So why it is like that? So we have, that is the situation I am just exploring here. And I here present not a research topic, but a methodology, a research methodology to take our students to be well equipped so that they will be able to do their research in a better way. So that is what we are thinking about, and I introduce a program called Research Based Pedagogical Tools, RBPT. This is a program promoted by IISER Pune in collaboration with this DST, DBT, MHRD and British Council. They organize this research based pedagogical tools. They organize these workshops all over India many times. There is a category, first one they call Level 1 workshop. Normally about 150 to 200 participants from across India, this undergraduate or grad teachers will be attending the workshop, and the training will be given by Sheffield Hallam University. After that level 1 workshop, a few of these participants, after 2 or 3 level 1 workshops, a few of the participants will be selected for level 2, and after a few of these level 2, they will be organizing level 3. This is a pattern. And I got opportunity to attend level 1 workshop in IISER Mohali, level 2 workshop in IISER Pune, and level 3 workshop again in IISER Pune. And I also got an opportunity to organize level 1 workshop in Sacred Heart College, Kochi. There is only one college, because all level 1 workshops they organized in IITs, IISERs and universities, and there is only one college, that is Sacred Heart College. I got opportunity and I organized this workshop. And I also went as trainer in Shimoga and also in IISER Bhubaneswar. So this is what I am planning to introduce before you, research based pedagogical tool, RBPT.
I, along with my colleague Dr. Sumodh, organized a 2-day national workshop on MOOC and e-learning for training teachers. Please watch this promotional video.
Yet another stepping stone in the history of Sacred Heart College, bringing forth a new era of academic engagement, learning through visuals. break the shackles of classroom confinements.
This is from the International Workshop on Quantum Materials for students and faculty. My colleague Dr. Jimmy Sebastian was the coordinator and I was the joint coordinator of the event. Students and faculty from various colleges across Kerala attended.
Speaking about the exuberant Dr. Pius, he served as the faculty coordinator for Physics Association for Recreation and Kaizen, which is abbreviated as SPARC. Being an executive member of SPARC, I still remember, ever since he was appointed as the faculty coordinator, he was in the forefront for organizing various activities from webinars to cultural events. Even at a time when we are hit by a pandemic and we are confined to our homes and all of us feel a bit low, he always had the thought of uplifting the spirits of the students and teachers, which is why he organized various cultural events like Onam celebration, Christmas celebration, we had the Teachers' Day celebrations, and Fusion, which is the annual cultural event of the Department of Physics. Here I should also mention that he served as the faculty coordinator of Red Cross at our college, and he was the captain for the cycle rally which was organized as part of the Platinum Jubilee celebrations of Sacred Heart College. The same enthusiasm was carried out in his academic activities as well. His teaching pedagogy was unique and he always tried to implement activities that could make his students competent. One such activity was the We Will Overcome presentation series, which is available in his YouTube channel, and we had the opportunity to take part in that presentation series. I am really grateful to Dr. Pius Augustine for this wonderful opportunity, because it was only because of the confidence that I gained from this presentation series that I was able to bag the first prize in the All Kerala Intercollegiate Presentation Competition, which was held by Assumption College, Changanasheri.
SPARC, SH Physics Association for Recreation and Kaizen. Recreation and Kaizen are the crux of the association. Kaizen is a Japanese word meaning never-ending improvement. That is recreation followed by creation. SPARC aims at bringing in new thoughts and new initiatives in the life of every member of the physics family, whichever field they associate with, and encourage everyone to look for a spark in each one's life. A simple but profound way of living. As a member of the Office of the International Affairs, Sacred Heart College, I coordinated Ek Bharat Shreshth Bharat, a joint venture for scientific and cultural collaborations under the MOU between SH College and Holy Cross College, Agartala. I also organized a webinar in association with USIEF Chennai. USIEF selected 100 academic institutions in India and conducted virtual meetings during the first 100 days of new administration in the United States. I coordinated the event in SH College. 2 talks were given to UG students, US-India relations and higher education in the United States. Then Ms. Shyamali Sunish from Physics Department, who was sent to United States as part of student exchange program by the Office of the International Affairs. And 2 days back, she got admission for PG program in University of Bristol. These are some of my activities as Program Officer, Youth Red Cross in SH College. Exhibitions and rallies. As part of Platinum Jubilee celebrations of Sacred Heart College, Physics Department organized Physics Exhibition. Students and faculty contributed experiments and put up 75 exhibits. Under the banner of Youth Red Cross, we put up a program, War and Peace. A photo exhibition was arranged. More than 5,000 photos related to Kuwait War were displayed. And a peace rally on bike with a message, "Live in peace, not in pieces," was organized, which visited 8 colleges in Ernakulam district and handed over a lily, a symbolic message. At the end of the year-long Platinum Jubilee celebrations, we organized an excellent cycle rally. 4 days, touched 4 districts and 25 institutions. With message, "Go green, breathe clean." I was the captain of both bike rally and cycle rally, one at the beginning of Platinum Jubilee celebrations and the other at the end of the Platinum Jubilee celebrations. This was another COVID service in the initial days of first lockdown in March 2020, when nothing much about COVID was known. The pandemic book explaining COVID-19 was translated into 14 languages and distributed all over India. I did Malayalam translation. These are National Science Day talks delivered in 2020 and 2021. So I wind up this presentation here. A big thanks. I was trying to share some of the notable events which made my life beautiful in the last 5 years. All these were possible with support and encouragements from many. Particularly, I extend my gratitude to our retired principal, Father Prashant, and various HODs of Physics Department, George Gutti sir, George sir, and Sibi sir. A big thanks to my colleagues and students.